Grace Walker trudges through the rain-soaked evening, her grocery bags heavy and her heart heavier. The quiet suburb mirrors her solitude, every drop echoing her exhaustion. Once, she shared laughter and warmth within those walls, but now her home feels like an empty echo of what used to be comfort. When Ethan Reed, her son's 19-year-old friend, suddenly appears and takes the bags from her, Grace feels startled not just by his presence but by his gentle insistence. His youthful energy contrasts sharply with her weary stillness. Inside, as they unpack the groceries together, the silence between them feels oddly intimate. Then Ethan says softly, "You shouldn't have to do everything alone, Mrs. Walker." The words pierce through her like sunlight through clouds. Grace hides her trembling hands, masking her surprise. It's been years since anyone noticed her quiet struggle. For the first time in forever, she feels seen, and that changes everything. Grace Walker's life has quietly unraveled since her divorce 3 years ago. Once a passionate teacher, she now works part-time in a small bookstore, finding solace in the scent of old pages. Her world has shrunk to work, chores, and silence. Even her son, Noah, drifts further away each day. Ethan Reed, Noah's 19-year-old friend, offers an unexpected contrast. Despite coming from a broken home, a father in rehab and a mother working endless night shifts, he remains kind, composed, and thoughtful. Grace can't help but notice his maturity, the calm steadiness she wishes her own son possessed. When Grace discovers Noah has been skipping classes, frustration spills into shouting. The confrontation leaves her shaken, her son's door slammed shut like a wall between them. Later, Ethan's quiet words, "He doesn't hate you, he just doesn't know how to talk to you anymore," reach her deeper than Noah's anger ever could. The call from school hits Grace like a punch, Noah suspended for fighting. Shame and worry twist inside her as she rushes to handle the situation. Ethan quietly steps in, diffusing tension with calm maturity far beyond his years. When he says, "I just wish someone had been like you for me," Grace is momentarily speechless. After that day, something shifts subtly between them. Grace starts noticing Ethan in small, tender ways, the exhaustion behind his polite smiles, the weight he carries silently. She begins setting aside food when he visits, offering small comforts she once reserved for her son, finding unexpected ease in their quiet conversations. Then one night, after another brutal argument with Noah, she finds Ethan sitting alone on the porch, eyes shadowed with hurt. His father has relapsed again. When he murmurs, "You make this house feel safe," the air thickens with unspoken emotion. It's not love, not yet, but the beginning of something achingly close. Grace's heart begins to betray her reason. She catches herself smiling more, humming softly while shelving books at work. Her co-workers tease her about a new glow, but she brushes it off. Inside, she's torn, ashamed for finding comfort in Ethan's presence, yet unable to ignore how he makes her feel seen. At home, Noah senses something unspoken. His glares linger longer, his tone sharper whenever Ethan visits. Grace tries to create distance, but Ethan's quiet concern keeps drawing him back. He checks on her after long shifts, helps with repairs, and his steady kindness fills the void her family left behind. One stormy evening, thunder cracks like an old wound reopening. The lights flicker out, and Ethan rushes to help with the fuse box. Grace trembles, not just from fear, but from memories of abandonment. When Ethan gently steadies her, she nearly leans into him. Then, terrified of her feelings, she pulls away. "You shouldn't be here." He answers softly, "I know. But I didn't want you to be alone." The breaking point comes suddenly. Grace receives a call, her mother's been hospitalized. Shaken, she crumbles, and Ethan instinctively pulls her into a reassuring hug. It's innocent, pure comfort. But when Noah walks in, shock and fury twist across his face. To him, it looks like the ultimate betrayal. The house erupts. Noah's voice cracks with rage as he accuses Ethan of taking advantage and Grace of destroying what little family they had left. Ethan stammers, trying to explain, but shame and confusion drive him out the door. Grace collapses afterward, her tears falling into the silence Noah leaves behind. The next morning, Ethan's mother appears unexpectedly, her voice trembling with gratitude. She tells Grace, "Ethan said you're the first adult who ever made him feel safe." The words shatter Grace's guilt. Ethan hadn't loved her, he'd simply needed her kindness. But Noah, blinded by misunderstanding, still believes the worst. Grace finally gathers the courage to face Noah. Sitting across from him at the kitchen table, she lays her heart bare, confessing her loneliness, her emotional confusion, and the guilt of almost losing herself. "Sometimes, kindness can be misunderstood," she says softly. "But that doesn't make it wrong." Tears stream down as Noah's anger dissolves into pain. He admits he felt abandoned too, not just by his father, but by her distance after the divorce. The walls between them crumble. For the first time in years, mother and son hold each other, crying not from blame, but from understanding and forgiveness. Weeks later, Ethan visits to say goodbye before leaving for college. His gratitude is simple, heartfelt: "Thank you for being my safe place." After he leaves, Grace feels peace instead of ache. She finally realizes she doesn't need anyone's validation, she's enough, whole in her own forgiveness and strength. Months later, Grace walks through the quiet halls of Ethan's college art exhibition. Her heart swells when she sees his painting, a woman standing in a doorway, bathed in golden light. The title reads home. The figure isn't lonely, she's strong, grounded, and radiant with quiet peace. Tears blur Grace's vision as memories flood back: the storm, the heartbreak, the healing. 4 years, she'd defined herself by what she'd lost. Now, looking at that portrait, she realizes she's finally free. She smiles through her tears and whispers, "You shouldn't have to do everything alone, Mrs. Walker." As she walks away, her reflection lingers like a soft voiceover. Sometimes, the words that stay with us aren't confessions of love, but reminders that we deserve to be seen, even in our quietest battles. Grace steps into the sunlight, her heart lighter, her story finally complete.